Skipping Unit K for obvious reasons, I now have the terrifying realization that yes, where I'm at, I'm about to be using only a Rattata and doing the tower that's filled with ghost types with a rival battle coming up. I don't know how I'll do here. Part 2 to this series and the final of this series is already coming up to a rough start. However, I persevere and I'm doing the challenging gravel battle that I don't really know if I can win at this level, despite being at least 20 levels higher than his entire team. He comes out with Pidgeotto and I have Ratman. I go for Shockwave, praying for the quick one-hit KO. I don't get it and I'm hit with Sand Attack, which will ruin me. I go for Quick Attack and I miss. Meanwhile, he's chipping at me away. I'm losing pretty decent health and I'm missing everything. But eventually I connect with a Quick Attack and Pidgeotto goes down. Next is Gyarados, which hits me with Intimidate. Now all my physical attacking moves are lower. And watch this. Shockwave, which is 4 times super effective, doesn't get the one-hit KO. That terrifies me because now I know that if I can't KO this Gyarados when I'm 4 times super effective, this whole team terrifies me. So I go for Focus Energy, hoping for maybe, like some critical hits maybe. I go for Hyper Fang, I miss, obviously, and now their defense is higher because he uses Reflect. I go for another Hyper Fang, and it crits, so it takes it down. Next is Kadabra, and I go for Quick Attack. It misses, obviously, and now it disables it. So if anything outspeeds me, I'm kind of screwed. I go for Hyper Fang, and it hits with a critical hit thanks to the Focus Energy. I'm getting a lot of crits now. Now it's Charmeleon. I hesitate for a second, but I go for Hyper Fang, and let's see what happens. It's another crit, so Charmeleon goes down. That battle should have been difficult, but thanks to Focus Energy, it really wasn't. Don't think I'm out of harm's way, though, because I need to try and avoid these trainers with ghost types, because I know Shockwave won't do good damage, and none of my other moves can hit right now, and I have no good TMs. This part of the game is really scary. Like, look how annoying it is to fight Ghastlies in here, and some of them even have Haunters. I go for Shockwave, hoping for the quick one-shot, or it just doesn't do anything bad to me, but it does Confuse Ray. So now I can attack myself sometimes, which you'll see right here. I go for Shockwave, and I hit myself in Confusion. I go for another Shockwave, hoping to just end the battle, and I hit myself again, but it takes itself out with Curse. I only won because it did self-elimination. So with that and me going in here super carefully, I guess now's a good time to talk about something. I gotta change my schedule again. Thanks to real life technicalities, I don't think I will be able to post a video every Friday. Now I'm changing it to every Saturday. But YouTube Shorts will be every day now, and before I would make one YouTube short a day, sometimes two, except for the day I posted a video. Now on Saturdays, I post an actual video and 2 YouTube Shorts. And also, for the reason why I can't do it every Friday, well, obviously school, and I thought that, well, when I get home from school, I have a couple hours free. I can just make the video after school. I have to do a lot of stuff after school, so that's not really a viable option. So I gotta do it Saturday where I'm more free to do stuff. That's right, I'm thinking about you guys, so my schedule kind of has to shift. But hey, it's fine because I was able to get this video out at least, even though right now it's Saturday night and I'm probably going to post this on Sunday. So it kind of didn't really work out that well. But also, since I'm an idiot, I had the sudden realization that I can't even clear the tower yet because I don't have the Silph Scope item. So now I'm just kind of running to Celadon City so I can actually progress. I kind of wasted time, which really isn't good. Also, Celadon City itself is kind of creeping me out. I gotta do my first raid on a Team Rocket base. Plus, if my memory serves me correct here, there is a gym in this town, so I don't really know how I'm gonna handle all this. But one more thing, since this whole series is seeing how fast I can beat a Pokemon game with a weak Pokemon, I don't use items in battle and I do everything correctly, but I do use the money exploit so I can get coins and repeatedly be able to buy good TMs. Is it a good thing? It depends on the person, really, but I think that the whole point of the series is to see how fast I can beat the game, TMs or not. So I think being able to buy good TMs isn't really a cheat because I'm still using the Pokemon. I'm just adjusting the moves, but don't worry, it's not that game breaking. And if you don't like it, then just tell me and I just won't do it in the future pretty much. But anyway, now it's back to game progression, and I need to fight a Team Rocket Grunt before I can really enter the base. And it kind of goes well, honestly. Rattata is just a quick one shot, not really too bad at all. And Zubat, I just kind of take out with Shockwave. I bought tokens already, but I'm not going to do anything with moveset yet, at least not now. And I have to fight an army of Team Rocket Grunts. It's honestly not that annoying, just a waste of time, and it wastes all the power points on my moves. So I kind of need to go out sometimes and heal because I just don't have the power points necessary to KO so many things. I am getting good levels though, but that's also kind of a bad thing because getting too much levels might make the challenge, just too easy. Right before the Giovanni fight, I used the tokens to get some good TMs. Shadow Ball for ghost types and Ice Beam for rock and ground types because they hit hard and they resist Hyper Fang, and I don't really want to use Shadow Ball that much unless I am fighting a ghost type Pokemon. Honestly, a pretty good moveset. I won't really be adjusted that much. I'm ready for Giovanni, I think. So starting the fight with Giovanni, you really see that I did pick a good moveset. Immediately on Onyx, I go for Ice Beam, and it's a one-shot, which is really good because if Ice Beam didn't do well here, that would be a problem. Another Ice Beam again on Rhyhorn, and another one-shot. This is actually going really well. This fight is honestly not going as bad as I thought it would. I thought maybe Rhyhorn could have done some damage, but now it's Kangaskhan, and that does scare me. I go for Focus Energy. It goes for Mega Punch, but misses. That's really good. I go for a Hyper Fang, and it's good damage, and it flinches, so I didn't get hit at all. And another Hyper Fang takes it out. The Giovanni fight that I was honestly kind of scared of, I just never got touched once. Now, immediately after him, I go after the grass gym leader, Erica. I think it's going to go pretty well. I'm not that scared. I mean, no items in battle can make any battle kind of scary, but I think I'm going to do well here. I go for Ice Beam, and the damage is kind of all right, but I am paralyzed, which is definitely not good. I go for another Ice Beam, and it goes for Giga Drain, now outspeeding because I'm paralyzed. Ice Beam hits, and now it's a KO. Honestly, Victory Bell could have done worse. Now I level up, which is good because now Tangle is out and it's kind of bulky. It goes for Ingrain, so passive healing, and I go for Focus Energy. I really don't want to get stalled by this thing, so I go for Ice Beam. It goes for Giga Drain, does good damage, and Ice Beam, it hits, come on, it's a one-shot. That's good. Not even a crit either. Wow, I thought it would be way more difficult. I go for Ice Beam again. Yet again, though, I am outsped and they go for Giga Drain, which is really annoying. Ice Beam hits and it doesn't do anything. And it outspeeds and kills me. That's failed attempt number one. Attempt number two, and things go much, much better. As you'll see here, it goes for Victory Bell, and I do Ratman. At this point, I do Focus Energy first, hoping to get the quick KO on Victory Bell, and it goes for Poison Powder, which is actually a blessing in disguise because now I can outspeed everything not being paralyzed, and my Guts ability activates, and I completely destroy Victory Bell with a critical hit Ice Beam. This is pretty good. Tangela comes out, I'm hurt by poison, doesn't really matter, and I can just take it out with another Ice Beam, which also does a crit. This battle was really easy looking back at it. I just kind of got unlucky with Stun Spore. I'm hurt with poison again. Doesn't matter. Go for Ice Beam. Don't crit though. It does do Giga Drain, which is kind of scary because it heals and I'm damaged and poison hurts me. But at the end of the day, I just go for another Ice Beam and it KOs. Attempt number 2 is a victory. Now with the Silph Scope from Giovanni, I'm doing a mini-boss. I really hope that the hype train keeps going because I need to do this fast so I can do the thing I'm trying to do with this series to beat the game as fast as possible. I go for Ice Beam and not a one-shot, which surprises me. Boomerang's doing quite a lot of damage. I go for another Ice Beam and it just simply KOs. That's a victory. And with this newfound bloodshed, I am killing every Pokemon in my path. Don't worry though, because these ones are evil. I'm fighting Team Rocket again, because there's another Giovanni fight I have to do to get them out of the next city so I can fight Sabrina. Then, something happens. My rival shows up, and I'm not strong enough to beat him at all, really. I can't do anything against his team in any real way. No matter what I try doing, I end up getting put down like a little girl's sick puppy. There's nothing here I can do at all. No matter what I try and do, my Rattata just ends up dying no matter how much rare candies I give him. Look at the power of his Charizard. He does so much damage and he leaves me with a burn after Pidgeot and Gyarados weaken me. Like, what do I do? After so many attempts, I'm just gonna eventually go over one because it feels like cheating if I don't. As you can see, I got myself Thunderbolt. and watch what happens. It's not even a one shot, but this time it paralyzes, but it just goes for wing attack, chipping away at my precious health. And as I take down this demon bird, I met with a Gyarados. And it intimidates me, so now Ice Beam and Hyper Fang are slightly weaker. It goes for Dragon Rage, and I take more damage. I go for Thunderbolt, and does it even one shot? I don't even remember. Yeah, it doesn't even one shot. It goes for Bite. I am now on 36 HP, and I finally take down the Gyarados. But guess what? He sends out, well, yeah, Charizard. Yeah, I almost said Alakazam. He sends out Charizard next. Here's the thing about Charizard: I can't kill it, but it can definitely kill me. Eventually, though, I do get a winning attempt, and I kind of just have to brute force it. I go for Thunderbolt on Pidgeot, and it does good damage, doesn't one-shot, though, and I do, it does Feather Dance. Now, all my physical attacking moves are much weaker. I end up taking it out, though. Next is Gyarados, and Gyarados does kind of scare me. I don't like seeing this thing, and it intimidates me, so now my attack is even worse. I go for Thunderbolt, and let's see how it goes. It's a one-shot. Also, the screen does kind of get weird here. That's something I can't fix. I apologize for that. Next is Charizard, and I'm going for Thunderbolt. I'm praying for a critical hit. I don't get it, and it hits me with, ooh, Scary Face. Now my speed's lower. Now here's the thing about Charizard. A critical hit Flamethrower, and it's happened before. I lost the footage to it, though. A critical hit Flamethrower can kill me at this level. Luckily, it doesn't happen here, though. Next is Execute, however you say. I end up one-shotting it with a Ice Beam. It's not that scary. And here's how he could have won, but didn't. It blunders with Alakazam. It goes for Future Sight. That takes 2 turns to hit after launching it. I can finish the battle before then, so I won because he chose to be an idiot, but I'm still counting that as a victory no matter what. But now here's something actually scary. I have a Giovanni fight. Now the rival battle was kind of annoying, not really difficult, just annoying because they had moves like Feather Dance. This is actually difficult, which you'll see here. It goes for Poison Sting, which is weak, but it poisons me. So now throughout the entire battle, I'm taking passive damage. I do have the Guts ability, though, so it's kind of a blessing in disguise, but mostly just, a poisoning. I go for Ice Beam on Nidoqueen, thinking it'll one-shot, but it doesn't even do half health. It does close to half, though. And that's with the boost. I go for a Hyper Fang, and it does one-shot because of the Guts ability, but that's still kind of scary. Now Kangaskhan is out, and this thing can kill me if I let it hit me. I go for Hyper Fang, and it one-shots, thankfully, but next it has Rhyhorn. Now this is just a one-hit KO with Ice Beam. This battle could have been difficult, but luckily I kind of lucked out. Honestly, being poisoned might have helped here. Now I'm at Sabrina, but since I retaught Shadow Ball after getting rid of it for Thunderbolt, this is kind of not challenging at all. It sends out Kadabra, but I'm now level 70, and Shadow Ball is a guaranteed one-shot, basically no matter what. Next thing it sends out is Mr. Mime, but that's just another quick one-shot with Shadow Ball. Nothing here can really challenge me, except for maybe the Alakazam, if it outspeeds at least. Sends out Venomoth, and I go for Ice Beam. Is that even going to do anything? Let's see. And, 9.5. I was trying to be smarter. Like, I actually don't remember how this battle went. I do win it, though. I know that for sure. I go for Shadow Ball, and that seems to finish it off pretty well. I'm pretty sure I just one-shot Alakazam after this, right? Let's see. Shadow Ball, I am confused, and it hits, and that is a guaranteed one-shot no matter what. Sabrina was very easy, actually. Now I'm making my way down to Blaine because I kind of don't have anything else to do, and I'm trying to get this done as soon as possible. I don't think he'll be that difficult. I mean, 2 things on this team have Intimidate, and my best attacking move for his gym is definitely Shadow Ball. So that might be kind of challenging, but I could just always use Thunderbolt, right? I also have the Dig TM. I might use that. I mean, it won't really be that effective, maybe. I don't know. It could take out the Rapid Dash, though. That thing's pretty frail. And Arcanine, if push comes to shove and I can't use Shadow Ball, I think Dig just might be a good option. After changing my moveset yet again because I got the double team TM, now I'm pretty sure how this run's going to go is I just do double teams on pretty much any person I'm fighting that's a gym leader or anything really difficult. And I kind of just sweep afterwards. But right here, though, I kind of forgot Koga. He's a little bit forgettable, so it's not really my fault. But he's actually a gym leader that I forgot I had to do after the Safari Zone. So let's just see how that battle goes. I instantly go for double team, which helps because I missed a Toxic. Toxic isn't like normal poison. After a while, it does massive damage, and I can't heal myself during the battle. So if I'm hit with the move Toxic, it's kind of a guaranteed loss. Muck comes out and I use Shadow Ball and it doesn't one shot and it goes for minimize. Stuff like this is why Toxic is scary, because if I start missing moves, I'm taking passive damage throughout the battle. That can be terrifying and it will just lead to my demise. Luckily though, I can take out Muck. Next is Coughing, not really that terrifying. I go for Thunderbolt and it does pretty good damage. It almost one shots and I'm not poisoned by Sludge actually. Ooh, I thought I was. I saw the animation. It might just be like a sludge animation. I don't know. An animation plays whenever you are poisoned. I just saw it on screen. I assumed I'd be poisoned. I guess not. This coughing is really starting to stall me out, though. It's really annoying. I'm wasting power points here. And also, can we talk about how Koga, a gym leader, is using items in battle constantly? Meanwhile, I'm using a Rattata against him, winning, and I have not used a single item. That's just a skill issue there. Wheezing, though, kind of challenging, but at the end of the day, it's just 2 Shadow Balls instead of 1. Koga was kind of easy, and this is really why I forget him a lot. He's just not really a good or fun battle at all. He's just really weak. No more false alarms, though. Now I actually am at Cinnabar Island, so I do have to fight Blaine now. But first, since this old man's annoying, I have to find the keys to his gym to get in. He quite literally locked the doors. After getting the keys, the battle begins because I'm going to beat this old man to death. At least I think so. I go for double team, maybe so I won't get hit as often, which is kind of the whole point of the move. And I go for Thunderbolt since I'm intimidated by the Growlithe, so my attack is lowered. It's missing constantly, so Thunderbolt just kills, thankfully, because Growlithe can be annoying. It does have Fire Blast. Ponyta's out, and I go for Shadow Ball because the whole evolutionary line's frail. It doesn't one-shot, though, and it's at a sliver of HP. I go for Thunderbolt, not knowing it'll heal, but it does, so now Thunderbolt doesn't really do much. I can just take it out next turn, though, because it wasn't low enough for Blaine to really want to heal it. Next out is Rapidash, and that thing's kind of scary because it is incredibly fast. I go for Shadow Ball, and it does good damage, but it doesn't one-shot. It does lower its special defense, and its Fire Blast misses. I go for Thunderbolt, and that takes out Rapidash. All that's next is Arcanine, and I think it's going to be easy. Little do I know that this dog is terrifying. It goes for Intimidate. My attack's lowered again, so Shadow Ball isn't really effective, so I just go for Thunderbolt. He goes for Fire Blast, and it one-shots me. Attempt number 1, and I failed to beat up an old guy. Attempt number 2 at a higher level, and it really doesn't go much better. I still don't win this time either. It goes for Growlithe, and obviously I send out Ratman. I'm hit with Intimidate as per usual. That's not something I can fix. I go for Double Team, and its Fire Blast, which is 85% accurate already anyways, hits me. I go for another Double Team because I don't want Arcanine to hit me, but then Growlithe hits me a second time. He had like a 20% chance to hit there, and he just still did. Shadow Ball hits it, though, and kills it in one hit, thankfully. Next out is Ponyta. I go for Shadow Ball, and this thing survives somehow, which it shouldn't. But luckily, it doesn't hit me, and, ooh, never mind, because it's healed. I go for Thunderbolt, because, again, I thought I could just finish it off. This time, though, I do, because for some reason, I guess it would have done, I don't know. Anyway, I do Shadow Ball on Rapidash, but it just goes for Fire Blast. I don't die, though, thankfully, and I go for Thunderbolt. Here's the trouble with Arcanine, though. If I don't get a crit here on Thunderbolt, I just can't kill it, because I can't use Shadow Ball or Ice Beam here. I go for Thunderbolt, no crit, but it's paralyzed, but then it hits Takedown. Again, 20% chance to hit me, and it did. Here's my third, and believe it or not, more annoying attempt. Blaine is trying to make me punch the guy, and I might just do it. He's really agitating me. I go for Double Team, because again, I can't get hit by Arcanine or Rapidash by any means necessary. But he still hits me with Fire Blast, twice now on Growlithe. My health is in the yellow. I go for Shadow Ball, and luckily, the dumb dog dies. Now it's Ponyta, and I go for Thunderbolt. This battle is already going terribly. Ponyta also hits me with Fire Blast. So far, something has happened to me 3 times that only had a 20% chance to happen. I go for Shadow Ball on Rapidash, and I don't KO, but it kills me with Fire Blast. Again, 20% chance to hit, and it did. And eventually, Ratman and I actually end up winning, thankfully. Growlithe comes out and intimidates me, but at this point, it really shouldn't, because I'm finally about to put the nail in its coffin that kills it. I go for nothing but Double Team, praying I'm not hit. But Fire Blast, yes, a Fire Blast still somehow hits me. Thankfully, though, Growlithe just goes down with a Shadow Ball. Next out is Ponyta, which, believe it or not, this whole time has taken more hits than the more bulky Growlithe, but finally, it is one-shot alongside him. Now it's Rapidash, and I have pretty good health. I'm kind of confident. Rapidash, though, survives a hit and hits me with Fire Blast, because of course it does, and then Blaine has the audacity to heal. Again, against my purple rat that I named Ratman. Anyway, though, eventually, Rapidash actually goes down. Now, big bad boy Arcanine's out, who has killed me many times, but today I kill him, because a critical hit Shadow Ball finally gets me the win. With that, to make this video short, because I've really done a lot here, I can just skip to Giovanni, because there's not really much whoa, hold up. Now with that, I'm at Giovanni, which is supposed to be the strongest gym leader, but I took him out easier than Blaine. Honestly, in all playthroughs I have, Blaine is always worse than Giovanni in terms of fighting. Rhyhorn is just a quick one-shot with Ice Beam, and he sends out Nidoqueen. I just go for Ice Beam again, hoping for the best, and it doesn't one-shot, sadly, and it goes for Earthquake, but look at that. That did less than Arcanine's Fire Blast. Anyway, though, back to this. I hit Nidoqueen with Shadow Ball, but it doesn't KO, sadly, and I just go for another Shadow Ball, and that seems to get the job done. Next, he sends out Nidoking, and I go for Ice Beam, praying for a one-shot yet again, and I don't get it. And I'm hit with a new Earthquake. Did more than Nidoqueen's, but it doesn't do much. Again, Giovanni heals. I'm not expecting it, and I go for Shadow Ball to KO, thinking that he won't heal. But hey, this time he didn't, and I took it out with Shadow Ball. Blaine actually has more potions to heal with than Giovanni, which is dumb, by the way, to say the least. I almost said something way worse, but let's just leave it at dumb. Anyway, now Dugtrio's out, and I go for Ice Beam. It's kind of obvious that's going to be a one-hit KO, but just imagine if it didn't. Those things, Earthquakes, are even stronger than Nidokings. That would have posed a threat, but now Rhyhorn's out, and obviously that thing's not going to survive an Ice Beam. That's Giovanni down, actually. Again, easier than Blaine. And now things start getting really easy. Even with our next rival battle, he doesn't pose a threat. I get kind of close to losing, but I don't. I'm starting to do really well this run with not much stopping me in any capacity, really. I'm just killing everything I see. Pidgeot went down easily. Now his Rhyhorn's going down pretty well. I mean, nothing on his team can really stop me. Next, he sends out Execute, but what can that really do against my Shadow Ball? Not much. Then he sends out what I think is Charizard. Nope, Alakazam. That's even easier to kill than Charizard. Shadow Ball one-shots. Next, he sends out what now might be Charizard? Nope, Gyarados. Oh no, Gyarados is honestly kind of challenging. Never mind, I have Thunderbolt. Anyway, now Charizard does come out. He can pose a threat. He wants to pose a threat, but he really doesn't. I've hit a high point. I don't think I can lose anymore. Charizard even tries to scare me, and while my speed does lower, he accomplishes nothing. I'm honestly too powerful to stop. And as I pass the guards on Victory Road, I'm reminded by my success. Each one asks me for a badge, seeing if I'm worthy, but each time they need to let me through because I have what makes them fear everything. I'm a trainer who beat everybody with just a Rattata. And as I go to challenge the Elite Four, I am facing someone with mostly water and psychic types, and I have Thunderbolt and Shadow Ball. She has nothing on her team that can strike me. I got strucken down. Then I got strucken down a second time. However, the battle isn't impossible. All I gotta do is go for double teams and get lucky. Dugong, though, is kind of annoying because it sets up Hail. That really dwindles down my health, no matter if I use double team or not, but I keep setting up. Now, one thing I will say about this Elite Four, and I've only really showed the first one so far, but it was insanely difficult, and it really kind of goes well at the end of the video that you'll see in a minute. They're all really tough, and it's really hard to overpower them with just a Rattata. I really, really hated doing this, but eventually, though, this battle is a victory, so let's just go ahead and see how it goes. Obviously, I have to wheel down Dugong. It's very tanky, and I don't really hit that hard, even with Thunderbolt. Even if I had Thunder, I don't think I can one-shot anything on her team except for maybe Cloyster. I don't know. Cloyster is also annoying, though, with Protect. It really wastes power points, and I don't have any items like Exilites, whatever you call them, but basically, I have no way of like replenishing my power points in any way. So if I'm stalled out because they have good defenses or if they use Protect, I just can't really use that move much anymore. Eventually, though, this battle is a win. Even after getting to Bruno, I can't really fight him that well, and I lose attempt number 1. Everything goes smoothly until Machamp, so I don't really need to show the battle, except for the one where I do win. But Machamp is just really annoying. He can hit me insanely hard and almost one-shot me when I'm at full health, and if I take any damage, I do just die. And he will constantly heal Machamp with just the constant amount of full heals he has. It really isn't fair. The battle where I do win goes kind of smoothly, but at the same time, it was mostly luck. I get off the double team, I can't really afford to go for much, so after that, I just go ahead and one-shot the Onyx, getting it out of the way. None of the Onyx are that difficult really at all, but one thing though that I think would make the Elite Four way better is if I still had Focus Energy. That alone will help me get crits more often, and a lot of these times where I almost one-shot a Pokemon just wouldn't happen. But anyway, Hitmonchan is kind of easy to take out, not that difficult. It's kind of annoying to stall, and it really gets rid of a lot of power points, but it's not really an issue in any capacity. Same thing for Hitmonlee. It can hit me with, I think it has Brick Break, but it didn't really happen that often, and it really is just a one-shot with Shadow Ball. But next he sends up Machamp. This thing is what's scary. As you can see, I hesitate for what to do, but eventually Shadow Ball is what happens. It does about half health, but it has a Citrus Berry, which has really been screwing me over. This thing has so many ways to heal, and it's just really difficult to take down. It uses Scary Face but misses because obviously the double team, but he's healed with a full restore. That's insanely annoying. I go for Thunderbolt and I'm hoping it paralyzes. It doesn't, but it does end up critting it, which is good, and I can finish it off with Shadow Ball because all of the healing items are wasted on previous Pokemon. Next out is its Onyx, and I can just take that out with a quick Ice Beam. It took 2 attempts, but Bruno's gone. But next I'm going to get to definitely the most annoying thing of this run. You'll see the most annoying thing later, but first I have a battle with Agatha, and they have Gengars, which would be difficult, but at the end of the day, all it really means is that they can't hit me, but I have an extremely powerful Shadow Ball to hit them. So the first Gengar is just a one-shot. Golbat isn't a one-shot, but it can't do much except for really Air Cutter. It can crit a lot, but it really doesn't here at all. It's healed with a full heal, though, so I have to waste even more power points. Eventually, I use Ice Beam, and it goes well because it freezes it, so I take this time to go for some double teams. I don't really think anything on her team can trouble me much. Trust me, she's not the annoying thing. The Dragon Trainer is. Lance is freaking terrifying, and I couldn't even really beat him well, if at all. You'll just have to see what happens then, because I'm not going to spoil it. But here's Arbok, and he's really annoying because he's tanky when it comes to special defense. Or maybe I'm just not hitting hard, I can't tell. But I keep using Ice Beam because I really don't want it to get healed by anything, so I don't want itself to get into the red. And eventually I finish off with Shadow Ball. Next is another Gengar. It's really just a quick one-shot. It's not really dangerous in any way, but oh, it actually survives. But Sludge Bomb just misses anyway. And it heals with a Citrus Berry. If it was Machamp, it'd be annoying, but right now a Gengar, it doesn't really add up to anything. It's just one more Ice Beam and then a Shadow Ball to take it down. Honestly, Ghost types this run, except for in the beginning, they aren't that challenging. What really ends up happening is they can't hit me, but I'm super effective against them. There's really no challenge here, except for what's next, and that's the annoying thing, and it kind of defines this whole run for what it ended up being in the end, because it's Dragon Trainer Lance. He has a Gyarados, an Aerodactyl, 3 Dragonites, and a Charizard. I can't really battle that well at all. I heal before the battle praying that maybe I can do something here, but here's the thing. I've battled him many times, and I have about 12 failed attempts, but I'm just going to show you this one because it's the first failed attempt, and I can't really get past him at all. I could hack NTMs, but I feel like that's too far, and being able to get infinite tokens to buy some is already kind of cheating. I might not even do it in, like future videos where I do other runs, but I did it here just because, well, I'm using Rattata, and I can do what I want. But even here with Aerodactyl, I'm 4 times super effective with Ice Beam, and it's not even in the red, and then it just lowers my speed harshly, so I can't really do much, and also I get critical hit instantly with an Ancient Power. That does a lot for me. And also, here's what comes next, Dragonite. Now, I have Ice Beam, and I don't even have a lot left. I have only 2 Ice Beams. It does massive damage to me, and while I do a lot of damage, it just gets healed by Lance afterwards. I can't do much, and it outspeeds. I can't finish this run. So can I beat a Pokemon game of Fire Red with only a Rattata? No, I can't. I mean, I could use items in battle, but that might make things too easy, and I think that alone is pretty cheap. So I don't really want to use items in battle for any of these runs, and honestly, if I end up doing that, I don't think I'll be able to do a lot of these runs, so I might use items in battle later. I could just use items in battle for Lance and then for, again, against the champion fight, but if I do that, I feel like it's going to make all the previous battles where I didn't use items, period, kind of in vain, because I just use them later to beat the game. So I think I'm just going to have to call this run a defeat. But hey, next week I'm going to try and do it Fire Red yet again with either Pikachu or Pidgey. I haven't really decided on it. Pikachu will be kind of fun because it's not normal type, because I just did Rattata, and flying type doesn't really give me that much for Fire Red, because most of the things that flying is super effective against, Rattata already did well. So I might just do Pikachu for an added challenge because it makes Brock way more difficult. But I'm going to go ahead and end this video now because I'm insanely tired.